This is Anthony with Vapehead, and I want to take just a few minutes to hop up on my soapbox. I just got through watching the video from Groom Green. Really cool guy. He's got his own little juice thing going on, and he does the videos on here talking about different mods and stuff like that. They're really cool stuff. Um, but he just did a video called "The FDA is Serious." If anybody has not heard about this, I'm not sure exactly what rock you've been living under for the past couple of weeks. The FDA has officially set its rules in place for vaping. They have officially taken this and classified it as a normal cigarette now. These are just like any other cigarette you would fire up with a lighter. That's bull. Um, I'm not sure exactly what we can do. I'm kind of like him. I honestly have no idea, but we have got to figure out where we need to be pointing ourselves at in the direction in order to try to figure out how we can tell the FDA and the government, hey, look, you need to back off a little bit. Um, the nanny state has spoken, and they've spoken loudly and harshly and severely. um, they now have it set up to where if you don't have specific, if you don't pay for this humongously expensive application before you can release a mod or a tank or the juice that goes in the tank through the FDA, and if they don't okay it, now this of course does not take place until about 2015, but still, um, some of you might be losing your favorite vapors. Some of you may be losing your favorite mods. The companies could go belly up. The e-juice companies could go belly up. Some of the smaller companies probably will say, you know what, we tried. Um, Mount Baker Vapor won't be releasing like they did, like he said in his video. They just released the Gwar in appreciation to the lead singer who died. They just released that. Well, come 2015, they won't be able to just release a brand new juice. They'll have to send in an application, which will then have to be okayed by the FDA. And if they say, well, no, we don't really think that's an appropriate juice flavor, then you don't get it. Sorry. No. That's all they've got to say. Well, we just really don't think that's an appropriate juice flavor. Or we don't think that's an appropriate mod. They're wanting the mods to be made uglier so they're not attractive to young people. They're wanting, they want full and total control. They want the tobacco companies to be able to say yes or no to these things. Well, we really don't think that there's a good idea, or we don't really think that there's a good mod because it's prettier than a cigarette. Um, People, you need to realize, like Grim Green said in his, we really need to open our eyes and open our ears and realize just exactly how severe this actually is. Um, like him, I will say that these things actually saved my life. 20 something years of smoking, and now all of a sudden I can run and not be out of breath. It's a really cool thing. But now you've got the government stepping in saying, well, we're not real sure if these things are, are going to be out anymore or not. They can ban certain tanks. They can ban certain mods. They can ban the batteries. They can just say, you know what, we're not going to let you have none of it. Go back to smoking normal cigarettes. That's where we're at right now. Um, my suggestion, and I don't know if it's a good one or not, I'm just going to put it out. My suggestion would be to petition the White House over this. It's not like Barack Obama's really going to listen, but hey, it's worth a shot. um, Contact your congressmen, contact your senators, contact your state representatives in Washington and Congress and in Senate. Contact them, let them know what you think about this. Let them know just how big of a crap pile this whole FDA thing really is. Um, Let them know what it's done for you. Write a testimonial about it. Send it to them. if enough people get back and do this, and I'm not talking about just vape heads. I'm not talking about just vapors, or as I like to call us, vape heads. Other people, they were classified as vapors, but I prefer the word vape head. It's just me. But we have to get together, not only as the people who use these products, but the people who make the e-juice, the people who make the mods, the people who design the tanks. These guys also, everybody needs to get together and pull their weight on this. Because if we don't do something, then they're going to say, you know what, we're just going to take control of the whole thing, and you're going to take what we give you and you're going to like it. And it's just that simple. Granted, these laws do not technically come into strict effect until 2015. And it's like he said in his video, the regulation was set for back in 2007, and there were no e-juice companies in 2007. There was no mods in 2007. There were no tanks in 2007. So they've rolled this law back just far enough for them to be able to say, you know what, you're a small company, we don't want you in business. Well, that's nice. We're supposed to be trying to grow businesses. And this kind of business is something that actually helps people. It is a community. We are a community. We are a family. And we need to stand up for ourselves. Our family has now been attacked. We need to retort. You don't just walk into somebody's house and slap their mama. Well, that's exactly what's happened. Somebody has walked into the house and slapped your mama. Tighten your belt up and stand up and do something. As for me, I'm putting this out. I'm going to sign a petition going to the White House. I'm going to contact my senator, my congressman again, and let them know exactly what I think about it. I'm going to post this all over Facebook. I'm going to post it all over my Google. I'm going to post it in my Twitter. Everywhere I can think of to put this, I'm putting it. And, I'm going to make my voice heard just as much as I possibly can. And I would suggest everybody else do the exact same thing. I know I don't have that many followers. I know that, I get maybe, just a few hits as time goes by on these videos, and that's fine. But even just one person hearing it and turning around and sharing this video with somebody else, or posting it on their YouTube, or not YouTube, posting it on their Facebook, or posting it on their Google Plus, or whatever, get the word out that this is serious. I'm going to post a link concerning this from the FDA. I'm going to try to find the FDA law itself. And it's not the total law, because by the time it gets done, it'll probably wind up being a few hundred pages worth of regulations that get slapped onto this, as well as all the other crap that's already been slapped on it. But I'm going to see if I can find it and link it in the description to this video so that you can look at it yourself. I'm also going to try to find it and put it on my Google Plus account. If you don't have me on Google Plus and you want to add me on Google Plus, it's Vapehead on Google Plus, VAPEHEAD, all one word. And you'll know it because you'll see the little tie-dye smoke in the skull and the top hat. It's really hard to miss. But no, in all seriousness, this is, as Grim Green said, this is extremely, very, 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 very damn serious, people. And it's not going to end pretty if we don't stand up and make our voices heard and do something about it. We have got to do something about it. This is not going to end well for any vapors or any mod makers or any tank designers or any e-juice companies. It's not going to end well, especially if you're not that big. I don't know exactly how big like Mount Baker Vapor is or any of the other gourmet places like that. I'm not real sure exactly how big they are, but they're looking at the fact that come next year they're going to have to file for a probably $1,000 or more application just to be able to say, hey, we'd like to release this particular kind of juice flavor, and it cost them like $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever it costs in order to do that. and the government turn around and say, no, no, but we're going to keep your $1,000, thank you. Yeah, that really works out great, don't it? A few of those turn down, and companies like that out there can't even stay floating. So seriously, in all seriousness, this is very, 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 very bad for the community. It's very, very, very bad for the tank makers, the juice makers, the mod makers. It's bad for everybody involved in this tight-knit little community, because trust me, this is a very tight-knit little community. And I agree with what Grim Green said in his, where he said, we don't need to be concentrating on what new flavor that Mount Baker Vapors released, and and I'm not knocking Mount Baker Vapor. They put out great stuff. I love their juices. I do. I love their juices. And I'm not knocking you guys, seriously, but we don't need to be concentrating on what new juice they come out. We don't need to be concentrating on what new Anokin mod has come out, or we don't need to be concentrating on the new Kraken or the new Prometheus tank or the new Aqua or whatever. We don't need to be concentrating on that. We need to be concentrating on what the hell the FDA just did. Because they just basically turned around and walked into your house and told you exactly what you're going to do, and you're going to like it whether you do or don't. Now, people probably thought I was a little nutty whenever I said, oh, the nanny state is here. Nope. The nanny state is here, people. The government has just officially taken control. Now, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to sit back and go, well, I guess it's okay that they do that? No, really, it's not. It's really not. You're going to let the government sit there and tell you what's best for you? They're already telling your kids what they need to eat. They're already telling you what you need to eat. They're already telling you what you need to do. I think we need to be able to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, you know what? Don't cross that one. And they just crossed it. So I think, in all honesty, we need to erase that line and step ourselves forward a couple of notches and draw the line again and go, you know what, we need to back this bus up a little bit, because the FDA just threw our asses under the bus. So personally, I'm going to crawl out from under the bus, dust off a little bit, and I'm going to do my part to get my voice out there and get my voice heard. I would suggest you guys do the exact same thing. And I'm sorry it took so long to get to a new video, but this one is important. Keep on vaping, and let's hope we can keep on vaping.